10 Riveting Lost Cities Found Underwater. Dwarka, India. Said to be the humble home of Lord Krishna, Dwarka was considered to be a storybook city. That was until the ruins of the city were discovered at 131 feet below the ocean. No one ever questioned the legends of the mythical city, as it made up many childhood stories. But, thanks to the Marine Archaeological Department of India, these stories now have some reality. There is evidence that the existence of a city could have been here approximately 9,000 years ago. It was said that the city of Dwarka was built on 6 blocks. Excavations done by the Archaeological Department show how underwater cultural heritage in India is equally rich and can be successfully explored. Yanagani Monument, Japan. The Yanagani Monument was discovered in the mid-1980s near Japan's Yanagani Island. Some believe that this formation is from an ancient city, while others argue that it's a naturally formed structure. It is possible that the monument is a man-made structure with distinctive straight lines and carvings on some rocks. There are other formations nearby that could suggest an ancient submerged city. These structures are approximately 5,000 years old and belong to a lost civilization that could possibly be the legendary Mu or Lemuria. However, other researchers claim that underwater currents could have shaped the monument. Knowledge about this structure is still a mystery to many. Pavlopetri, Greece. Pavlopetri is known to be the oldest submerged city in the world. It was said to have submerged 5,000 years ago with an earthquake of 8 magnitudes. The modern name given to the city is Pavlopetri, as the original name is unknown. It was in 2011, after BBC's visit to this location, that the world then knew about this lost city. A prehistoric town was discovered with streets and buildings, and archaeologists believe that the Minoan dynasty inhabited this city. Villa Repecchio in Argentina. Most ancient cities are known to be a few thousand years old, but the Villa Repecchio is fairly recent. On the shore of Lake Lago Ipacune in the 1920s, a tourist village was established. The resort town of Villa Repecchio thrived for many decades well into the 1970s and had over 5,000 residents. Around this time, there was an unusually long weather event that caused more rain than usual, increasing the lake's water level. In 1985, this caused a crack in an earthen dam until a flood demolished the entire town. The water eventually receded in 2009, revealing a now ghost-like town. Baiae, Italy. The Roman city of Baiae catered to the rich and powerful of the Roman elite. The dealings of this city were similar to modern-day Las Vegas. As it was located over natural volcanic vents, it was known for its healing medicinal hot springs. However, in the 8th century, the city was ambushed by a Muslim army, and by the year 1500, the luxurious town was completely abandoned. The water level gradually rose because of volcanic vents, thus leaving the city completely submerged. Today, this city is one of the few well-known archaeological parks where you can view the city in glass-bottomed boats and even swim in the ruins. Otlit Yam, Israel. In 1984, the remains of this Neolithic village were rediscovered just beneath the Mediterranean Sea. Otlit Yam is believed to be from around 7000 BC and is possibly the earliest ever underwater city to be discovered. It also happens to be well preserved with grain stores, stone wells, even graveyards. Scientists believe a tsunami led to the abandonment of this city. What's even more interesting is that the remains of a woman and a child were discovered, revealing the earliest cases of tuberculosis. Semina, Turkey. On the shoreline of Kekova, the stone structures and crumbly remains of a sunken city are visible from the turquoise water. Believed to be from around 2000 BC, Semina was once a Lycian settlement and a sea trading post. The city's foundation can be seen from the water's surface along with other structures like a church, a shipyard, and a stone staircase that leads right into the sea. The city, however, succumbed to a series of earthquakes in the 2nd century and eventually submerged into the water. The island of Kekovo surrounding the sunken city remains uninhabited and is a specially protected area along with being on UNESCO's list as a World Heritage Site. Xicheng, China. The ancient city of Xicheng was established about 1,300 years ago. Unfortunately, it was deliberately flooded in 1957 to create a hydroelectric power station and an artificial lake. This city now lies beneath Lake Yonao in China and surprisingly hasn't eroded much. Below the water, the gateway to the city is visible, along with figurines of mythological creatures carved into the buildings. There are also impressive arches built from the Qing dynasty. Today, the power station no longer produces energy and has become a popular tourist destination. Sant Roma de Sau, Spain. Sant Roma de Sau was an ancient town with a thriving community located in Catalonia, Spain. Until the 1960s, this town had just about 100 inhabitants. However, the construction of a dam by the Spanish government's orders was underway on the river terrace to create a reservoir. Because of the construction of this dam, the inhabitants were moved to a new nearby town. Eventually, Sant Roma de Sau was left abandoned and to drown. In 1965, the valley was completely flooded, and all that was visible was the church bell tower. Port Royal, Jamaica. Situated on the southeast coast of Jamaica, Port Royal became the center of the British government in the 17th century. In the late 1600s, it was known to be one of the largest European cities as well as the Sodom of the New World. It got the name for being the favorite spot for pirates and outlaws. However, in 1692 a massive earthquake hit the island, and since it was largely built on sand, the city suffered immediately. Finally, a tsunami hit the city and took everything else that remained. Today, it is a place loaded with history and plenty of stories to tell.